Doncaster in the cup last week. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought the scoreline didn't do us justice, Rob. To be honest, I think towards the back end of both halves, we conceded. I think it was 3 tries in the first half, 3 tries in the second half. But in terms of we had some people carrying knocks and stuff, so we was missing some key personnel in the game, which presented some opportunities for certain players. So in terms of what we got out of the game, it's obviously what we wanted out of the game. The result wasn't obviously what we wanted, but I think we just switched off in them last 10 minutes of each half, if you like, which conceded 6 tries ultimately. So yeah, I think overall. There's some stuff there that we need to improve on, which I'll touch on tonight with the players. Because I said it before, the Doncaster game, to be honest, these next 2 games, Doncaster and Sheffield, I think if we work on certain aspects of our game, I think it'll nullify, well, I was expecting to nullify Doncaster and then into Sheffield as well.
Yeah, we've signed Cole Oakley and Joe Baldwin from the Crusaders. What do they bring to the team?
Yeah, I've played against them both as a player, Cole and Joe. Cole brings some experience at this sort of level. Cole can cover numerous positions in the pack and also in the centre as well. He's done a few stints there as well. And Cole does a lot of the stuff that not every spectator will see, but a coach will definitely see. He brings them 1% efforts that every team needs, as well being a strong, powerful player on an edge in terms of an attacking threat as well. So with attack and in D, it'll bring us a different dynamic there on an edge. And with Joe as well. Joe's a hooker, come through a great system there at Wigan. Had some really good coaching, as has Cole at North Wales under Kyle Forster. And again, Joe brings that liveliness at 9 as well. And again, really good in defence in terms of his contacts. There's some exciting stuff in attack as well. So any quick books, etc., he'll jump off the back of. So I'm really looking forward to meeting him in person tonight. I've been catching up with them both the last week. But we're looking forward to meeting them tonight and integrating them into the group.
Yeah, the club put out a statement last week saying the search for a new head coach is continuing. You've done a great job as the interim coach so far. You bought a bit of time for the club. What have you learned during this experience?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot to cover as an head coach. Not necessarily obviously the planning of the field sessions. There's obviously you've got to spend a lot of time away in terms of planning, looking at other teams, how they're playing, and then the man management side of it as well. In terms of you've got to manage the players that are not necessarily in that 17, 18 as well, and speak to them and keep them posted on areas for improvement or the reasons why obviously they're not in that 17. But I think I've said throughout each time I've spoke in terms of I've enjoyed every second of it. It's a massive challenge, massive club, but yeah, I've enjoyed every second of it, and I'll continue to do so. But yeah, I think I've learned a lot in terms of how you manage certain people. You can't manage everyone the same. But yeah, look, listen, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing for now.
Yeah, the team and the squad keep evolving. People coming in, people departing. What's the challenge about, obviously moving forward, with this season and beyond?
Yeah, look, we've just got to keep up with the pace of how the club's growing, and we've got to keep up with that in terms of the squad as well. So yeah, listen, we've got to find people that's the right fit in terms of personnel for the squad, but also we've got to find the right people as well, which can be a challenge. Because like people in the group that might need to move on, and obviously we're looking at players coming in as well, and they've got to be the right person to fit into our mould and our group and the direction in which the club's going. So as you've seen with some of the signings, it's not kind of a short term 6-month contracts. It's planning 2 or 3 years in advance, which long term planning is the way to go about signing players.
Yeah, obviously we're coming up to halfway through the season. How do you think it's gone? What have been the successes, and what's the target?
Yeah, look, I think the successes have been obviously the first couple of games we were just lucky to get a team on the field. I think the last few weeks, I think as we've got personnel back in terms of our own players, we've fielded teams there with no loans in, for example, which again was a massive success for us as a team and as a club. And again, I think for us it's aiming for that top half of the table. I think like I've said in the last few weeks, we just don't want to be here just to exist. We want to be really thriving to be in that top half of the table. But at the same time, we've just got to take it game by game and take each opportunity as it comes. And I think the likes of, for example, with Lewis Pilling at the weekend, giving Lewis's debut and the way he conducted himself over the last few weeks, and then he gets his opportunity on Saturday, and the way he played, I thought he played really well. So there's some key successes there in the season. Like you said, we're nearly halfway through, but there's a long way to go. We've just got to take it week by week, keep improving as a team, but keep improving individual players as well. You know, we've got some young personnel in the team as well, so we've got to remember that we've got to keep developing the players. And the players coming in as well, which I've seen some vast improvements over the last 3 or 4 weeks with certain players. I don't really like naming people, but we've seen some massive jumps with certain people in terms of development, etc. And they're becoming key personnel for us in games. So that's been another success for me as well. So yeah, there's been a lot of success there.
What's the injury situation look like? I think Brad Dwyer didn't play last week. Toby Hughes as well, mentioned on a statement.
Yeah, so I'll touch base with the medical team tonight. We've got a meeting shortly in terms of where players are up to, who's going to be available this week, and we'll plan accordingly. Like I said, I think we was quite lucky. Probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, we got that injury list right down. And it's starting to creep up a little bit, but it's expected, Rob. I think the Championship and not having a pre-season, and if you look at other clubs as well, I think there's a lot of clubs with injuries. Which, if you look at how the league's been set up this year, over the last few years, I think it's always started in March time, and the fact that the season's been brought forward to January obviously cuts your pre-season anyway for 2 months, and the fact that we've not had a pre-season as well, we've probably been hit double whammy there. So you're going to expect injuries. You're going to expect people that are going to be banged up and bruised after games. The Championship's a tough division with every opposition you face it every week is a constant battle and a constant challenge, as you've seen. So that's not going to change. So we've got to manage it with our medical team, with our S&C, and make sure people that are on fringes, for example, are obviously topping up, getting the right treatment, getting the right strength and conditioning to be ready for games. And similarly, if we've got players playing every game of every minute, then we've got to manage them as well. So it's about managing individuals to get the best output on a weekend.
Yeah, final one from me. Sheffield this week. Thoughts on that? How do we beat them?
Yeah, so Sheffield have had a few tough weeks. You know, they've played Doncaster, they've played London, and I think that, like we've just touched on, I think they've got a few injuries as well. So they're bringing some personnel in there. But yeah, I've watched the last few games. Really good with the ball, really good in attack. And similarly on the opposite side in terms of defence as well. If we don't get our attack on point, they'll be easy for them to defend us. So again, we've got to be on point in terms of our attacking structures. And similarly in defence, if we do what we did against Doncaster and let it quicken up in that ruck, then we'll be in for a long day. So there'll be some focus areas for going into that game this week, in terms of what we always touch on in terms of our standards. But yeah, there'll be some key areas that I've kind of identified looking at Sheffield where I think we can get them if we stick to our process, we stick to what we've been doing best in our attack. I think we'll do all right. But like I said, no game's easy in Championship. It'll be a challenge. You know, they've just been beat by Rochdale as well. So again, they'll be coming all guns blazing. They're back at home this week, so they'll be coming with a reaction. So we've got to make sure we're matching that this week.